Hi, I'm David Yaz of the Boston Podcast Network. I'm here today with attorneys Russell Schwartz and Nick Plante of Worcester's leading family law firm, Schwartz and Plante. So the topic for today is visitation rights for grandparents. Now, Attorney Schwartz, let's start with you. I think a lot of people maybe don't even know the answer to this question. In our state, do grandparents have the rights to visitation?
Well, the short answer, David, is yes. They do have rights under certain limited circumstances to have visitation. But those rights aren't as significant as one would initially think based on the current case law in Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm. So Nick, tell us, if you are grandparents and you don't have the proper rights to visit your grandchildren, they can come to you, but what mechanism then comes next to get them these rights?
So Massachusetts does have what's called a complaint for grandparents visitation. So they have the procedural ability to ask for visits. But there's essentially a two-pronged standard. The first prong is that they need to demonstrate that they had a substantial pre-existing relationship with the grandchild, that they were involved in that grandchild's life, that they were a significant part of that grandchild's life. It could be that the grandchild lived with the grandparents for a period of time, that they were care providers for that grandchild for a period of time. So you have to first demonstrate that that relationship exists. Assuming that you then demonstrate that the relationship exists, you then have to demonstrate that the decision by the parents of the child to deny grandparents visits is a cause or will cause the child significant harm. Mm-hmm. Believe it or not, we don't talk a lot about constitutional questions in family law, but there is a constitutional question at play in a complaint for grandparents visits because the courts treat the decision by parents as to how to parent their children with a tremendous amount of respect. And so in order to get the courts to interfere in a parental decision, you have to demonstrate that those two prongs, that significant existing relationship and the denial of those visits would cause harm to the child. So it's an exacting standard. It's possible, and we do it regularly, not often, but regularly enough. We do it by way of meeting with our clients and then drafting of some pretty significant and specific affidavits detailing the history of the family.
So the legal test you've explained, Nick, it's not necessarily simple. I take it, Russell, if people have questions about this, grandparents are wondering about their rights, they should come in and talk to you?
That's correct. We represent grandparents in their petitions. Sometimes we represent the parents against the grandparents when grandparents file petitions. So two separate parties. Can't represent them both at the same time, obviously, one or the other. And of course, we are happy to meet with the grandparents to talk about their rights. The area of grandparents' visitation rights sometimes gets a little blurry because what grandparents anticipate as a continued ongoing relationship with their grandchildren might be different than what the judges believe to be a continuing ongoing relationship with their grandchildren.
And sometimes parents have, at least in their parents' mind, a real strong and reasonable justification for not permitting the contact. And so in addition to representing the grandparents, we do occasionally meet with parents who are defending against a grandparent's visit. And for whatever reason, unique to that particular family, we would represent the parents to defend against that complaint for grandparents' visitation.
Well, on behalf of all the grandmas, grandpas, nanas, papas, and everything in between, we thank you for this information to know about the rights of grandparents and how it fits into the larger picture of family law. Thanks for listening to today's discussion. For more information on this topic and all topics surrounding family law, and to follow up with attorneys Schwartz and Plante, please visit the website at schwartzplante.com. And thanks for watching.